She is Lucy Burdge. She is also a writer for BetQL and host of Back to the Futures each and every Sunday night on BetQL, appearing on the Roman Guest Line. So, Lucy, what do you think of the strategy of Kyrie Irving? Do you think that he should be turning the other cheek, or do you think he should be egging the Celtics fans on?
Well, I think, of course, he should be turning the other cheek, but he does not want to. He loves this. He loves being the victim. He loves coming into Boston, knowing the fans are going to boo him so that he can say, oh, look how they treat me. This is terrible. I am the victim here. No, and that's why my award for Kyrie Irving is Bozo of the Week. And I knew this was going to happen. Kyrie Irving is the Bozo of the Week to give the double bird to the fans on Easter Sunday, no less. This whole of days, which he knows what day it is. He knows the fans are going to do this. He planned that to a T. He is a drama king. That is absolutely correct. But this is the reason why I wanted the Celtics to play the Nets. This game right there, that is all you could ever ask for in a Celtics-Nets game. I wanted them to face Kyrie. I wanted Kyrie to do this. I wanted the fans to do this to Kyrie, to say what they said to him, S my D, all this stuff. He went all in on this, and I could not have loved it more. That was the game itself. You had the Nets were up, the Celtics tied it, then the Celtics were up, the Nets, the back and forth. The Celtics winning at the buzzer was just the sweetest part of the whole thing. But Kyrie loves when the fans get after him because then he can play the victim. He is such a baby.
So, Lucy, everyone knows the history of him playing in Boston and leaving, but what is it about him that's so visceral? Because he's not the first player to play in Boston and then go somewhere else. But what is it about Kyrie that just makes Celtics fans and Boston fans in particular dislike him so much?
Yeah, I mean, we've seen Johnny Damon, Jacoby Ellsbury go to the Yankees, no less. Yeah. And so with Kyrie, he stood in front of the Celtics crowd at the Garden and said, I want my number up in the rafters. I'm going to stay with this team. And then he dips, and then he comes back and he stomps on Lucky's face. That was it right there. He went to center court, stomped on Lucky's face to make a point. He's saging the Garden. He's, again, I'm the victim. Cry, Kyrie. You lost game one. So there you go. The fans hate him because of that. But I think both sides of this, the fans and Kyrie, both love this. I mean, this is it's everything you could ever want. I absolutely adore this. Inject this into my veins. The fans yelling at Kyrie and Kyrie giving them the bird and doing the crying and and saying back to them what they said to him, basically. So I love this. And I think there should be more of this actually in any kind of sporting events, in any kind of NBA game, baseball game, anything. Absolutely love it. Love it.
Well, because it makes the game more interesting. And I will say, if anybody can dish it, it's Kyrie. He's played well. It hasn't been a distraction for him. You know, they lost at the buzzer, which kind of sucked for him, obviously. And he was the one that got the spin move on him. But I don't know how you're supposed to guard that with a second left to play. I didn't expect there to be any time left on the clock. So that was a tough one there. So what do you expect in this next game? Celtics and Nets. Do we expect another close game here?
I do expect another close game based on how the first one went. And I'm angry that Kyrie is actually a good basketball player because he is carrying this team right now. But if they can do that again and keep it close, game two. But I think if the Celtics win game two, that's it. They're going to win the series. That's why this, I think, is the most important game of the entire series. And I think it will be close. I do expect the Celtics to win, of course, but I really think that this game is so pivotal because I think it's like whoever wins game two of these series has 98% chance of winning the whole thing. So I think the Celtics will pull this off and will win, but it will be close. I'm hoping it's close because then maybe we'll get more fans versus Kyrie, which is the rivalry of the year. Incredible.
We're talking with Lucy Burdge, writer for BetQL. You can also see her and listen to her on Sunday night on BetQL as host of Back to the Future. So let's transition a little bit to baseball. I know your Red Sox didn't get the win yesterday, and I really like them in that game, even though it didn't pull through. What are some baseball trends you're looking at right now?
So K-props have been kind of difficult this year, especially because it's early and that's always kind of difficult, but I have some picks today. I have, again, Red Sox money line, which I'm going with every day. That would be my trend throughout the year. Red Sox money line, which is definitely working out. I'd say 50% of the times they are 5-5. Red Sox money line against the Blue Jays. I have K-props are tough, but I do have Eovaldi going over 5.5 strikeouts because he had 7 and 6 in his past 2 starts. So absolutely love that. Devers over 1.5 total bases. I'm loving total bases props so far this season. So Devers over 1.5, and Verdugo to hit a home run is at plus 900 right now. So why not? And then so Padres money line against the Reds, because the Reds are not doing so well right now.
Yeah, that's putting it lightly.
Yeah.
They're getting absolutely stomped on a night-to-night basis.
See, I would have said whoever's playing the Orioles take that money line, but they blew out the Yankees, which was that versus Kyrie. I mean, I don't know which was better. The whole thing was just beautiful. So I'm saying whoever goes against the Reds, take that money line.
It's wild to me how the Yankees just don't match up with the Orioles well. The rest of the division absolutely lays the beat down on the Orioles, but for some reason the Yankees actually playing pretty tightly. Since September 2020, the Red Sox, Rays, and Blue Jays have beaten the Orioles 53-15, and then the Yankees go 16-13 against the Orioles. How do you see the AL East shaping up? I think you're going to say Red Sox here, but what do you see for the rest of the division?
Oh, of course. So the Red Sox are just getting started. They will be the favorites in no time flat. They will be the favorites. And the Orioles, maybe if they can keep this up, their odds were absolutely ridiculous to win the AL East. And they probably still are, but I think that they will get shorter. The Yankees maybe will flip-flop with the Red Sox, and the Red Sox will be right under the Blue Jays. And I think it'll go Blue Jays, Red Sox, Yankees, Orioles, but Orioles, maybe their odds will get shorter, and the gap between the Orioles and the next team will get smaller. But I wouldn't be shocked if the Red Sox were favored at some point, because they are picking up steam. That will be maybe their last loss of the season, Marathon Monday. And they'll win every other game.
Lucy, I want to transition now to the NFL, because Tom Brady has dropped the trailer for the Man in the Arena finale. So A, how excited are you about this? And B, how do you feel about him maybe? I know you said at one point that you can see him maybe not even playing for Tampa Bay and going elsewhere. Are you still holding to that?
I am holding to that, because I think he had this little taste of retirement, and he does not want to be retired again for a while, I don't think, because for some reason he was bored, I guess. So I think he will, I don't know if it'll be Miami, but I think he will move on from the Buccaneers at some point. I think the Bruce Arians move really changed a lot of things. And so now I see maybe he could stay with the Buccaneers, but he might also, I think he'll play beyond this season. Wherever it is, I think he will play at least another year past this season. Man in the Arena trailer, I am so confused by what he is doing, because I don't know if this was what he planned before. The whole retirement thing is just so confusing that I'm like, okay, let's just move on to the season, because Man in the Arena, I wonder, my biggest question, the beginning of this trailer shows him leaving the Patriots. How much will he talk about Belichick? Will he mention Belichick's name? This is what I will be looking for in this final episode, is Belichick mentions. How many? Robert Kraft, we know that that's a fine relationship. He'll probably talk about that. But the Belichick thing is interesting. And if he didn't tease this in the trailer, but it could be in the episode, anything about Belichick, because we know the rest. Like, he goes to Tampa Bay, they win the Super Bowl, blah, blah. What will happen in this episode when it comes to Belichick is my biggest question.
Lucy, I haven't heard you say one peep about Mac Jones lately. I believe you came on this very show and said something to the effect of Mac Jones is the next Tom Brady. Where did this love for Mac Jones go? It's missing.
Well, I think Mac Jones has something to prove, and he knows it. And he had a nice Easter Sunday with Sophie. I do know that. So yes, they had a lovely day. But other than that, where's he been? Like, maybe do more things, and then maybe you could be the next Tom Brady or so. I think he has a lot to prove, and then we'll see. I don't want to jinx him either. So yes, I still think he could be the next Tom Brady under Belichick, sure, but I don't know anymore if it will actually come to fruition.
Well, it is a hard task to complete, because a lot of people are not the next Tom Brady. In fact, no one is coming even close as of late. She is Lucy Burdge. She is a BetQL writer. Find her on Twitter at Lucille Burdge. She is host of Back to the Futures each Sunday night on BetQL. Lucy, thanks for waking up with us.
Thank you so much.